to This Old Thing. So today I'm going to do a perfume review, which is something that I haven't done in quite a while. Particularly because I'm really sensitive to a lot of cosmetics and perfumes, and so I really haven't been wearing them as much recently. I've been looking for more natural ones, but I still love them just as much, but I just can't really have it on my skin as much. With one exception, and that is my adoration and eternal love for Agent Provocateur. So I try not to buy just random perfumes anymore unless they are natural, because I'm trying to transition my collection. But I love Agent Provocateur so much because the original bottle, which is this one, it is the light dusty pink round-ish egg-like bottle. Oh, my nails go really well with it. That one has been my favorite, and I just adore it so much, and so I've started branching out into the rest of the collection. I did an Agent Provocateur collection video a couple of years ago, but since then, lots of their perfumes have been quite inexpensive, like on FragranceNet, places like that. It's almost insane how inexpensive they are, because these fragrances, they are just so good to me and to a lot of other people. And I mean, Agent Provocateur, in case you don't know, it's a British-based lingerie house with very expensive luxury lingerie. That's what it's known for. So I think it's so great that you can get these really, they're not technically niche, but to me, they're not something that you smell on a lot of people. This one definitely became more popular. I heard that it was more popular in England and that it was one of those things that you were smelling on everyone. But it was more like 5 or 6 years ago or something, when it was really at the height of its popularity. But I've never ever smelled it on anyone else here in the United States. And it's interesting because and of course you can go back to my original Agent Provocateur collection for more about this one. Although I think I might, if you want, also put in the comments, I might do more about the original. Because your opinions just change over time, and I'm just always wearing that and always loving it. But this one, I just completely lost my train of thought on that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, this one was said to have been worn out and about a lot by a lot of people in England where it originated. But that never became a problem for me. But these are definitely more rare. Sorry, it's getting late and I need to eat dinner. But I'd been doing my hair and stuff, so I was like, well, I want to film before I eat dinner, so I just spaced. But I do have a little drink here. It is a mocha iced coffee with a little almond milk whipped cream, which makes me feel very fancy. Right here, I'll lift it up so you guys can see it on the video. I'm experimenting with my new microphone. So we'll see how that goes. It sounded pretty good in my test, but yeah, I'm excited because hopefully that will help everything be a little bit clearer. And then I can also start to use the audio for podcast versions as well. So anyway, back to the perfumes. So if you'd like to wear fragrances that are very unique and very, to me, all of these are very vintage, which is especially why it goes in well with This Old Thing, because it's like every Agent Provocateur perfume, which most of them are made by one perfumer. His name is Christian Provenzano, I think is how you pronounce it. Many of them are made by him, not all, but most of them, especially the ones in these shape of bottles. They all smell like someone, to me, it's like a time traveler or something, and just what this really fascinating person would smell like throughout different decades and different scenarios. So, the reason that I wanted to do Blue Silk is because on my original video, to this day, people are requesting reviews of Blue Silk. It's a very pretty bottle. You can't really see how pretty it is. Is my light too bright? Let's see. Oh, sorry. I'll have to put some pictures of it on my This Old Thing Instagram and like some glamour shots because it's really not coming off as beautiful. It's weird. Like this looks like plastic on camera, but this is like a porcelain. Similar to this. And then it has the gold foil script. But this was the one that most people were requesting a review of because I had written in the comments there that I had gotten this recently. I think I got these both during the pandemic because I was kind of doing a little bit of like panic shopping, I think. And Fragrance Net just had such good deals on them that I was like, what? Like $25 for one bottle? Like, yeah, I can blind buy that because you're never going to find these out anywhere to smell unless you go to the Agent Provocateur store. So yeah, $25, even if I didn't like it, it's like, well, I can just give it to someone who does. So Blue Silk was the most highly requested. Someone on my last video commented blah 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 and then I needed to get to the point, but the thing is that this is a live, so I'm definitely not rushing because you're just kind of here to like hang out with me. I understand that if you're trying to look for a certain review because you're like, oh, I really want to find out if I want to buy that, then you might want to fast forward through, and that's fine with me. But I am going to take my time and kind of go off on little side streets because that's who I am. So there you go. So, should I give away which one I like better? I guess I will. So honestly, this is my favorite out of these two, but I'm going to start with the Blue Silk because, it was so highly requested. And the reason that I really wanted to do this video, even though I haven't done a fragrance video in a really long time, aside from that I like doing fragrance reviews and I really like watching them and I've been getting into watching them again, there's just something so relaxing about fragrance and the way that people talk about it. It's just very creative and very, like, takes you to another world. So many people had requested this, and I know what it feels like, especially with Agent Provocateur, but with other perfumes too. If you're trying to look something up because you're trying to see if you want to buy it, or let's say there's like two different ones and you're trying to determine which one you want to pick. Because like with me, I know that I love collecting the Agent Provocateurs and I know that I love their like essence, but you know, I might not be going to buy all of the ones that are on the website. So I want to see like which one I want to go with first. Sometimes there just are not reviews of them and it's really annoying and frustrating, and it like sometimes you just feel like, does this product even exist? Like sometimes it's not even a fragrance, it's like a makeup product or something. Like if there's just no review, it's like, what is this thing? And it's just so fun to like see a review of something, even if it's in another country. Like sometimes I watch reviews that are in Russian. One of my favorite reviewers, her name is Silver Butterfly. She also does reviews in English, but I didn't know that until recently. I would just watch her reviews in Russian, even though I don't speak Russian. I took it for one semester, but I'm not good. Because I could just get like the gist of what she was saying just from like if she seemed happy. And you can just like see the bottle and you can see the box and everything like that. So anyway, that's why I wanted to break this fragrance down. It took me a really long time because I can't get to this fragrance. it's so complicated and weird for me. And so I was kind of waiting because like I kept smelling it and honestly it just didn't smell like something that I wanted to put on my skin. And for me, like I have to wear things around and like also I just saw Silver Butterfly like yesterday, I think. She said like talk to your fragrances. I have to wear things around and like talk to it, and you know, I'm probably squeaking this table so much, huh? I just set this up, so I didn't think of that. I have to see how they react in different situations, different heat, different outfits, all different things. Like if you spray it on your clothes or on your skin, because like I said, I'm trying not to spray things on my skin as much. But that's where it really shines and does its thing because it's reacting with your chemistry. So, I just had such a hard time. I have my notes here about it, and then I'll also like break down the notes for you. But I finally like been able to like break it down a little bit. So let me spray it a little bit. Oh, here's the box. I'll spray some on the box so I can like sniff it. The box is super pretty. It has little butterflies all over it. Very like vintage, apothecary feeling, or like greenhouse. So I'm going to tell you guys what I think, and then if I keep wearing this over time and I change my mind, I'll let you know. And please, people that have this, talk to me about this. To me, this smells like... So I wrote down in my notes. And also, as you can see, I wore this to complement this fragrance. It smells like if you met Cary Grant and he was holding a really good gin on the rocks in a crystal glass. Like, it's vintage. It smells like... It gives me shaving cream. Something that is in shaving cream. It's a very, it's very soothing, calming. Like, there's something in me that, like, has smelled this in a shaving cream, like, since I was a child. That kind of, like, wintergreen, cleany mint, scent. I'll break down the actual notes that are, like, listed, but right now I'm just telling you, like, what it's giving me. That's what I get. Like, as soon as I smell it, I just smell... I smell Cary. That's what I smell. Like, and it has this musk to it. Like, it really just smells like you are just hugging some vintage man that is just gonna fix everything. It smells totally different in the air. That's like not even working. So let me go down the other things that it's given. But that's the main thing. Like, it's just this shaving cream, but very expensive. Very rich, expensive, luxurious shaving cream. Like, I see those suites that they used to have in movies that, like, a bachelor, like a rich, fancy bachelor would have. And there's, like, wood everywhere. And there's a built-in, like, hi-fi record player with, like, buttons that, like, pop up. Like, it's just very, like, just very luxurious, vintage, peppery. So it's called Blue Silk. The first thing that I wrote in my notes is blue. Like, you do smell blue. You smell, to me, it's that blue wintergreen kind of scent that, like, makes you think blue in your head because we've been trained that with, like, the wintergreen gum, mouthwash, Like this could be an aftershave, but very luxurious. I I say this, like, I try to say this in every, like, perfume video, so I'm just gonna say it again, even if it's annoying if you, like, watch a lot of them. But, to me, like, not only does perfume have no gender, like, gender does not exist. So, like, whenever I'm saying, like, something reminds me of this or that, like, it reminds me of a man or whatever, it's because of things in movies. It's not because only a man could wear this or something like that. It's just because it's just an image that it brings to mind. And I don't even want, like, it's confusing about, like, what should I say? Because it's like, this reminds me of, like, a masculine person. It's like, well, what even is that, you know? So sometimes I might say, like, this reminds me of a mom or whatever, but it doesn't mean that anyone of any gender can't wear any fragrance. Of course, you know, it's just the imagery. And I try to be, like, as inclusive in my language as I can, but it's just sometimes you just get to talking and you say something wrong. Or if it's not wrong, it's, like, not as inclusive. So, anyway, blue, cool. That goes along with the blue and the, like, winter green. Which is weird because, like, I'm not even saying that there's a mint in it, but it gives that kind of winter green scent. When we get to the notes, maybe I can break it down. Hugging a dad as a 1950s kid. Shaving cream. Clean. It's very clean. As opposed to, like, the original Agent Provocateur, it has a lot of cumin, a lot of civet to my nose, and it smells like sweat. It has a body scent to it. A lot of the Agent Provocateurs do, which is nice because it kind of feel like it, like, does some of the work for you. Like, maybe if you're in, like, a cold climate and your body isn't gonna sweat and, like, really break the perfume down into those notes, then some of the notes that it already has of those, like, warm, sweaty notes are really nice. With that being said, like, especially here in Florida, like, during the day, I rarely wear this anymore because it's just a very dirty smell that I love. But, like, if I have to shower just to, like, walk out the door because it's so hot here, I'm just not gonna add this. So that's what I mean by clean. Like, this is just very clean. Although it's vintage, it doesn't have... It's not vintage in a way of, like, this one smells like flowers, but, like, dead flowers and, like, paper and old things. This smells like you actually are in the 50s and you're using a product from the 50s. So it smells like... Oh, sorry. Let me crack my whole back. It smells like you're back there. Not that this is actually vintage and old, like, it doesn't have, like, old things inside of it, but it just comes from that time, if that makes sense. I really like just spraying it, like, in my room, even, like, before I leave, and then when I come back, it just smells really good. It smells like Cary Grant has been shaving his beard in my bathroom. So, okay, let's keep going. I put cedar question mark. I'm not sure if there is. We'll get to the notes, like I said. But it does have something very, like, woodsy and clean. Night air, it really smells like, because there's pink pepper, it smells like a fresh pink pepper tree or something, like, blowing in the wind. Like like you're like riding in a convertible and the wind just like catches this tree and you're like near the coast. There's no beachy smell, but there could even be like a cliff and there's like water. And you're just smelling this like tree and like even like pine trees nearby. We have those in Florida, like near the beach. Something like that. It's very dry, spicy and dry. Okay, so now, let me go to the actual notes that are listed here. So this was made in 2018. That's surprising. It's very new. I'm surprised that it's already so inexpensive. Okay, so on basenotes.com, or sorry, basenotes.net, which is a website that I like to use a lot for my fragrance research, it says that the top notes are lemon, mandarin, juniper, and pink pepper. Juniper, that makes so much sense. Okay. That's giving me the gin, because gin is an alcohol that is distilled with juniper. Oh, damn. I'm good. Yes. Cary Grant holding a gin on the rocks. Fascinating. Okay, so lemon, mandarin, juniper, and pink pepper. I'm really not getting the mandarin. I'm just going to spray this on one wrist and then I'll spray the other one on the other wrist. Okay, heart notes, rose, jasmine, nectarine, and cinnamon. Most of Agent Provocateur's fragrances are very well-rounded, and this one is too. Like, it's hard to depict particular notes out of them because they don't go super hard on one note. I don't smell any rose or jasmine, but maybe later it'll come through. Cinnamon, yeah, I'm getting the spice for sure. And then the base notes are musk, vetiver, sandalwood, and tonka bean. So tonka bean is a bean that is very much related to vanilla bean. It is, I forget how this goes. It is illegal in a lot of places, I think. So they often use like a synthetic or something. Mostly I get the lemon, but I'm not smelling it as one note. I'm just smelling it as a round flavor. Juniper, pink pepper, cinnamon, musk, vetiver, and sandalwood. But the sandalwood is not super strong, but it is there in the background. It's giving it a nice creamy scent. So I think the thing for me is that this, I just feel like I can't get past that first shaving cream note. And it's not that I dislike it, it's just that like it has such a strong it just has such a strong connection to me. I think like it definitely reminds me of like my dad's shaving cream, my mom's shaving cream. She's the same one. Like the Gillette like green bottle. But also I think that my grandpa Chuck, who was not really well, I mean, he was like my step grandpa, like my grandma married him, but I wasn't related to him. He was like a nice guy and everything, but I wasn't like super close to him. There's something that like he would always wear. He always smoked cigars too, so every once in a while I'll smell something and I'm like, whoa, that smells just like his cigar. But there's just something like of his aftershave or something like that, and like he just wasn't like a fancy guy that I want to like smell like. Like nothing against him at all, but he wasn't an elegant perfume maker. So I think that's what it is for me. Also, for me, if I wear things, I can develop new memories for them. So I could, wear this on a trip or something, or if a friend of mine wore it, then I might be like more excited about it. But for me, it's just like there's something that just reminds me of like just other people that I didn't think of in like a cool way. Like I want to smell like them, you know what I mean? Like just kind of like parents. Like obviously parents can be cool and you can like look up to them and stuff, but like just not with this particular scent. But with that being said, I don't want to discourage people from getting this. I think it's really lovely, and I think that I'd love to smell it on other people, and I'd love to know I'd love to know other people's opinions about it, and just people that are of all different ages, genders, walks of life, whatever, and like people that live in different areas, and see like what they would wear this for, and what they think, because like I feel like even if I smelled this on someone else, it might not like give that note, but it's just that when I spray it in like on me or in the air, there's just this shaving cream thing. But oh, and sorry guys, I took the little things that like keep it from spraying. They're like these cute little tabs, pull tab things. I took them off because when I have them on, I just don't use the perfume because I have to like take it off and on. But you can like look it up and see what it looks like if you want to. Let's see if there's anything else that I need to say about this perfume. Who is the perfumer? I think it was Christian Provenzano is a Canadian politician. Is that right? Is he a politician and a perfumer, or is that two different people? Oh, okay. So, it was created by someone named Beverly Bayne. Interesting. Beverly Bayne. That's very interesting. I think also I can never say it, even though like I can, but it just gives me pause. Vetiver, because I think they say it different ways in different accents. Vetiver, I think, also is giving it that not skincare, but what would you call it? It's like men's washroom. That sounds bad. Not like bathroom, but like things that you would have if you were a fancy man. A fancy man. In your washroom kind of vibe. Like aftershave, shaving cream, soaps, pomades, things of this nature. Alright, so I'm going to move on from that one, but I'd love to have your comments in the comments about what you think about this one, and if anybody else gets that and agrees, that would be great too. I just think the thing is with this one is that it's just not for me just because of that particular like scent. But in this, like, I would tell you if I just didn't like it or I thought that it just wasn't good, period. I think that this is a very good fragrance, but I just think that it's not for me. And yeah, that's why I wore this to accompany it. It's actually like a duster, but I can't really show you the whole thing, but it's like calf length and it's vintage. And it's from Hong Kong. Okay, so next up, we're going to do the Lace Noir, which I'm going to do like a quick, wanna bet, quick-ish talk about this one because I feel like I'm kind of, oop, that was not my arm. I feel like I'm getting to know this one a little bit better right now, and I might have more to say about it. Oh, it's so good. It's really good. Okay, so here's the box. Showed you guys that. These are all eau de parfums. Very hard to photograph because it's just all gold. This is a beautiful fragrance. It's very, I feel like both of these, which they came out at the same time, it says. 2018. And this one, of course. Like, I feel like a good Agent Provocateur fragrance should be like somewhat inspired by this because this is so good. Like, not necessarily smell like it, but when you smell this, you smell a person. You smell a time. And I feel like that's why I love them, and that's what they should do. And that's why these are so hard to recommend as like a blind buy, except that they've been like 25, 30 bucks online. So it's like, well, some people like to buy like scratch off tickets. So, you know, I feel like that's an okay amount to like gamble, and then you can always sell it or give it to someone who really loves it if you don't like it. This one also gives me just, there's something in it that's such a strong like sense memory, and this has that thing in it that a lot of people would call like a grandma perfume, which this has too. So that's the main reason why it's hard to recommend as a blind buy, because you have to make sure that you really love that, or that you haven't just like hugged too many ladies at your church that like annoyed you that smelled like that, because sometimes that can just kind of like ruin it. And that's what I was kind of getting at first from this. Like, it smelled really good, but just very old. And then as I sprayed it, of course, as usually happens with these Agent Provocateurs, it just started drying down and changing, and I was like, what is that? It smells so good. So let me go to my notes. And the thing about grandma perfumes, maybe I should just make a whole video about grandma perfumes, is that I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that there were perfumes that were very popular and certain ingredients that were very popular at a certain time. So certain people wore them and certain people overwore them, and brands made like knockoff versions of those, you know, and it just got like It just exploded. And so there are certain scents that you can kind of detect that are of each decade. And so a lot of grandmas happen to wear certain scents. And so it kind of makes us think that they're grandma scents. It doesn't mean that they're bad, but it's something that a lot of grandmas have worn. And you know what? Grandmas know a lot of good things. So this can go two ways for me. It's giving me 1940s, like my hair. Oh, that's funny, which I wrote in my notes, like, there's just a lot of people that it reminds me of. One of them is Jessica Rabbit. Like, at first when you spray it, it gives 1940s so hard, and then it starts to dry down and evolve. And there's patchouli, and it starts to turn into this sexy, like, really confident 1970s kind of vibe. So let me read you the notes first, because I feel like I should have done that last time. It's so nice having my iPad right here, so I can just look things up. So, okay. Top notes are bergamot and pink pepper, which bergamot is an oil. It's a citrus oil. Bergamot essential oil is a cold-pressed essential oil produced by cells inside the rind of a bergamot orange fruit. Okay, so if you love Earl Grey tea, this is what is in Earl Grey tea that makes it different from regular black tea. It's bergamot oil. The cells inside the rind. That's so specific. So just two top notes, bergamot and pink pepper. The pink pepper definitely comes through, but it's rounded. This is a very well-rounded fragrance. Like, nothing hits you really hard. The heart notes are rose, jasmine, tuberose, and coconut. Honestly, the coconut I don't get at all, but I wonder if it's just working to like round everything out and give it like a creamy feel. I honestly wish that I would smell a little bit more of that, but people who have it, put in the comments below, please, if you like notice that coconut coming through, because I love coconut. And that's interesting in this fragrance because, you know, that's much more often used in like a beachy summertime fragrance, and this is a really very sexy. One reviewer, she said black velvet dress. Her name is Style Digest. Style Digest. She said black velvet dress, and that's exactly what it is. Like, so it's so interesting that there's coconut in it. But there is something like, it makes your mouth like, is it edible or is it not? Like, it's not gourmand at all. It's definitely like floral oriental, but it like almost makes you be like, is that tasty? So base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, and patchouli. Yeah, you can get the vanilla and tonka bean coming through the whole thing in the back. The patchouli, like I said, it comes in later, so I can't smell it as much right now. But it really gives it a really nice sweetness. I just love patchouli in almost anything. It has a really nice skin scent. Kind of like a smoky, like this is a very smoky fragrance. I have to sneeze. And the patchouli adds a really nice smokiness, incense. And that's, like I said, when it has that like sort of 1970s, like just a really cool party kind of a feel. So let me go down this really quick. Rich, very luxurious. Velma Kelly from Chicago. That was the 1920s, but yeah, you could definitely see her smelling like this. She has it like smuggled to her, like in jail. Jessica Rabbit. It's very dark. This is definitely a nighttime fragrance. It smells like you're in her dressing room, which by her I just mean her. Like, could be Margot Channing, it could be Jessica Rabbit, Velma Kelly, anyone, just some luxurious mystery woman that just has all these different cosmetics and incense going in her dressing room. She has scarves. She has all of it. Licorice, but mild powdered. I think I'm not actually smelling licorice. Something is in my eye, dang it. I think that I am getting like this powdery scent and then something. There's a hair. Like the bergamot or something is like tricking me into thinking that it's this powdered licorice. It's more of like a powdered Necco wafer, but not a licorice one, like the lemon. But it's not pure Necco wafer, not like some fragrances are. A very sexy holiday, wintry. Some review somewhere said Christmas candle, definitely. Not cinnamon, not like apple pie or anything like that, but it's just if you were to order just this bougie Christmas candle that's supposed to smell like some representation of the holidays and of winter. And this candle costs like $50. It would smell like this. But it's just very nighttime. It's so good. I really like it, and especially how at first it's like like it literally sounds like Margot Channing is like yelling at Eve, like in All About Eve, or at someone. And then it kind of like pulls back, and then it's like, oh, but would you like a little patchouli incense? I'm excited. So it's the end of August right now, and I'm already like full blown into my fall dreams. I'm really excited to wear this more in fall and especially winter, and like go somewhere where it's a little colder and wear this, because it's like right now it's like winking and whispering of this like sexy wintry holiday thing, but I feel like once it actually is winter, it'll come out a lot more. Excuse me. So like I said, the reviewer Style Digest, who I just recently found her videos and I really like them. She said velvet, a dark velvet dress. And that's exactly what I got before I watched her review. I wrote, it smells like a dream of being a rich child and your mom coming home from an event in a black velvet evening gown and long evening gloves and picking you up. And it's like this blend of all the fragrances of her cosmetics, her hairspray, like the alcohol she drank at the party, and a bit of like cigar smoke that maybe she took a little puff of, or maybe she just like wafted through it at the party, and then she's like scooping you up and like kissing you goodnight. I feel like that's a scene somewhere like Peter Pan or something, but write like what other movies you've seen that in if you can help me remember, but that's what it smells like. Like I definitely get this with a lot of Agent Provocateur fragrances. They're very fantasy. Like it's like you were a kid and you had this fantasy of like what it would be like to be a spy, or what it would be like to be Cary Grant and be drinking a gin, what it would be like to be that mom and, you know, be coming home from the party instead of being the kid that had to stay home with the babysitter. Like it's these very like dream fragrances, and I love that. Just a couple more things about this. Resin. So I've been learning more about resins, and I think it's really fascinating, and people don't break it down, but it's not complicated. So it's basically like sap. Like resin is things that come from a plant, and the easiest way to think of it, excuse me, is amber for jewelry that we know. It is a tree sap that comes out, hardens, and then we use it to make jewelry. So when we say amber in fragrances, it's actually not that you're smelling a piece of amber. It's a combination of resins that are also from plants or trees, but it's not amber, the jewelry sap. It's just kind of like inspired by that, I guess. I have to look more in like to why we specifically call it that. But so when someone says an amber fragrance, that's what they're talking about. So it can be a mixture of different resins. Some of them are synthetic and some of them are natural. So just so you know, like a couple things that go in the resin category are frankincense, myrrh, benzoin, Tolu balsam, and Peru balsam, and labdanum. Labdanum. And they're just these really amazing smelling things that come from plants. So they can smell like very incensy, a lot of them are. Smoky, but sort of like caramelly, sweet, delicious scent. Some of them can be a little bit more like herbaceous and medicinal. So yeah, this definitely has a lot of incense to it. A lot of smoke. Was there no resin listed? Yeah, there's no resin that's listed in its notes. That's very interesting. But yeah, to me, I definitely get incense, like smoke, right away. It's spicy, but it's not too peppery. It's super well-rounded. My nose is very sensitive, and if something's really peppery, and I really like the pepper scent, pink pepper, black pepper, I will sneeze like right away. And this doesn't have that. It has a very nice like rounding to it. So here's a little more about the 70s scent that it gives. Like, it's like if you had on like this cool 70s outfit, and you have to have like pants with this. Like, this is not like a 70s dress. It's like bell bottoms, a matching suit. In that case, it calls to mind like a totally different scene than if you have like a black dress with it. Rather than like sophisticated, it's giving like a bohemian vibe. I imagine like a silk hair scarf, like, you know, like pirates. Sorry, something happened. Is it still going? Okay, I think we're still connected. I imagine a silk scarf like pirate style. And just, yeah, just a really cool, confident person. Like going around a party, like I could see like even like Harry Styles wearing this. Okay, so would I blind buy either of these? I kind of talked about it, but yes, but only if you can find it for the like a low price, like in between like 20 to 40, which is what I found it for on FragranceNet and Fragrance X, which I think those are the same company. But yeah, this is not sponsored by them, but I just found them there. If you are into Agent Provocateur like I am, and like if it's worth it to you to like collect it and or try it out, then I would definitely get it for that price and then just trade it away if you don't like it. But yeah, if it was more expensive, I would definitely wait to smell them just because they're so particular and so vintage. But if you are a vintage scent lover, then it's worth giving it a try, and it'll definitely take you to a moment in time, or maybe more than one moment in time. So I think that's all the notes that I had on these. I can seriously talk forever, and I can talk about perfume forever. I can't wait for the patchouli. Like, it's starting to happen just a tiny bit. Come through. I think that's when the coconut, like, starts working because it's this creamy kind of scent. It's hard to explain. These are very hard to explain fragrances. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this, and let me know your requests down in the comments below. Make sure you follow me on This Old Thing. Check out my website, thisoldthing.com, and also my vintage store, which is shopthisoldthing.com. And my vintage store's Instagram is at shopthisoldthing. And then my store is also on Poshmark if you're on Posh. So I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!